Welcome to the deep dive.
Yeah.
Today we're getting very practical. We're getting right into the driver's seat of a crisis, really.
Mhm.
A lot of you have asked for a breakdown of these high-stakes, real-world road management situations. We're talking about those moments where, a split-second decision is everything.
And these aren't just bad traffic moments or fender benders. What we're looking at today, these are tactical failures just waiting to happen. The sources we're dissecting define two incredibly distinct scenarios.
Yep.
One is a pure physics problem. It demands just surgical precision under an immediate spatial threat. The other is totally different. It's a strategic problem.
A human problem.
It's a human problem. It requires a methodical escape from a coordinated, intentional pursuit.
So our mission for this deep dive is to pull out the absolute, critical, the immediate, the actionable lessons from both of these situations. We need to really understand the difference between, say, managing that instant crush.
Yeah.
Sources call it the destiny wheel tackle.
Yeah, great name.
And then recognizing and escaping a deliberate, planned pursuit, which they call follow the rabbit's tail.
And the skill set you need for each is completely different. The line between survival and disaster here, it's not luck. It's often measured in tenths of a second or literal degrees of turning the steering wheel.
Okay, so let's unpack that first one then, the destiny wheel tackle. The name itself, it suggests you're suddenly forced into a game that's all about physics, and there's no way to win, just a way to survive.
That's a good way to put it. So picture this. You're traveling at highway speed, let's say 50, maybe 60 kilometers per hour.
Pretty standard.
Yeah, and the threat, it starts with a very specific layout up ahead. Imagine a parked car on the shoulder, and then 50 meters past that car, a huge stationary oil tanker.
An immovable object.
The ultimate immovable object, yeah. It's blocking the shoulder, maybe it's even sticking out a little into your lane.
So my brain is already thinking, okay, I'll pass the parked car, that'll navigate around the tanker. Simple enough?
Right, but here's the trigger. This is where the crisis just detonates. The parked car suddenly, and I mean suddenly, pulls out right in front of you.
Oh, wow.
It merges into your lane right behind the oil tanker. So now you've got this new moving obstacle right on top of you.
My first instinct is to correct. Steer a little to the right, maybe tap the brakes. Just make some space.
And that's what almost everyone would do. But that tiny moment of adjustment, that little bit of movement you see, it opens up a critical gap.
A gap for what?
For chaos. So at the exact same time, a faster vehicle, someone doing maybe, 70 kilometers per hour, they see your slight move as an invitation.
An opening.
An opening. And they go for it. They try to overtake, putting themselves right parallel to your car, maybe near your right front fender.
Okay, so let's visualize this. The car that was parked is now moving in front of me, close to my rear bumper. The aggressive faster car is on my right.
Right next to you.
And the massive oil tanker is 50 meters dead ahead.
Yeah.
You are completely, utterly boxed in.
You're in the box.
Yeah. Okay, so my gut reaction, my immediate, untrained impulse would be to yank the wheel left-right, trying to get around that overtaking car. Or, I don't know, slam on the brakes, hope to fall back.
Exactly.
Why is that a disaster? Why are both of those moves almost guaranteed to fail here?
That's the whole lesson of the Destiny Wheel Tackle. This specific situation, it demands something that runs counter to every survival instinct we have. It demands absolute stillness.
Stillness.
Surgical precision.
Yeah.
If you swerve hard to the left, even by a tiny amount, let's say 3 to 5 degrees, what happens at that speed?
Well, I changed my trajectory pretty fast. I'm thinking maybe I can clear the cars.
Right. But you won't. You see, when you make a sudden steering input at 60 kph, you initiate a really rapid weight transfer. The entire weight of your vehicle shifts violently to the opposite side.
Okay.
You take pressure off the outside front tire, and that little patch of rubber that's actually touching the road, the contact patch, it's compromised for a split second. And because you're boxed in, there's nowhere for all that kinetic energy to go.
So even a tiny overcorrection, a little twitch, sends the whole thing into a catastrophic loss of control.
Exactly. That's what the source material really hammers home. A small twitch of the wheel, a miscalculation of just a few degrees, and you start to spin. And in this exact setup, with that tanker dead ahead, any loss of control means you're going sideways, directly into that devastating stationary object.
So the correct action is controlled inaction. You have to literally force yourself to maintain a steady, straight path.
Yes.
And just refuse to make a sudden move, basically trusting that the other drivers, because they're still moving, will clear the space for you.
You have to trust the inertia of your own vehicle. The only way to thread that needle is to keep a laser focus on your current path until the other vehicles, the merging car, the passing car, naturally move out of that squeeze.
Your defense is stability.
Your defense is stability, not evasion. It's a huge lesson. Sometimes the most effective, the most aggressive defense is just disciplined control and refusing to introduce instability into the system.
That is a phenomenal distinction. It really teaches that a spatial crisis, one defined by speed and tight constraints, is all about mastering the physics of your vehicle.
Yes, exactly. Mastering the physics by resisting the psychological urge to just panic.
Okay, now let's shift gears. Let's make that transition to the second scenario, the follow the rabbit's tail.
Right.
We're moving completely away from a crisis of physics to a crisis of human intent, pattern recognition. This one develops more slowly, and it needs a totally different response.
Yeah, we're moving from managing space to managing hostile human behavior. And this incident, it often starts in a really deceptive, simple way. You're driving at night, maybe on a highway, you stop at a crowded traffic light.
The light turns green, and an aggressive driver, this is the rabbit, right?
What's the rabbit?
They just violently cut into your lane, forcing you over toward the divider. You have to slam on the brakes just to avoid hitting them, and you let this jerk pass.
Now, this is the critical point. Up to this moment, 99% of drivers would just assume, okay, that's road rage. Or just someone who's incredibly impatient.
Right. I might be reaching for my phone or checking my dash cam to try and get the license plate, for justice, or at least for evidence.
And the source material says that exact action, trying to get the license plate, is precisely the moment the real threat is revealed.
Why? Why is that the moment of realization?
Because while your attention is laser focused on that first aggressive driver, the rabbit, you suddenly notice something else, something really disturbing in your periphery.
What's that?
Other cars, and maybe even motorbikes nearby. And they're signaling to you, flashing their high beams, making little movements that seem synchronized.
Ah, that's the pattern recognition piece you mentioned.
Yes.
If it's just one aggressive driver, that's road rage. But if multiple seemingly unconnected...
The rabbit. Designed to make you stop or distract you or put you in a vulnerable spot. The other vehicles flashing their lights, they're the tail. And they're confirming that you are not in random traffic anymore. You are in a targeted, coordinated pursuit.
The whole game has changed.
It's completely shifted from avoiding an accident to strategically escaping a deliberate, organized threat.
So that brings up a really important question. What's the goal of them signaling? Why would they reveal themselves? Why not just box you in like in the Destiny wheel tackle?
Well, in a coordinated pursuit like this, especially at night, they're often using the signals to communicate with each other, to verify that you are the target they've now contained.
Oh.
They want you focused on the rabbit while they solidify their containment.
Yeah.
It's a deliberate psychological move. It's meant to intimidate you, to make you panic and make a mistake, like pulling off the main road.
Okay. So the moment that realization hits me, I'm being targeted, I'm being followed by a coordinated tail, I have to immediately shift into a safety protocol. Panicking or trying to outrun them is obviously the wrong move.
Absolutely. The goal here isn't speed, it's deterrence, it's safety. And that means you have to leverage authority and public visibility. We can really break down the immediate takeaways into five non-negotiable principles.
Okay, rule 1. The sources bring this up right at that moment of realization. It's about documentation. Gather evidence safely.
Right. You should try to record the incident, yes. Use your dash cam, use your phone, but, and this is a huge but, only if it's already mounted or immediately accessible.
You're not fumbling for it.
The rule is explicit. You do not prioritize getting a photo over controlling your vehicle or starting your escape. You're not going to make the situation worse just to get a license plate.
That makes sense, which leads right into the core of the escape plan. Rule 2. Seek immediate safety. This is about the destination.
Yes, these sources are crystal clear on this. You do not try to lose them through reckless driving, no high-speed chases, no competitive stuff. If you engage, you're just escalating the threat.
So what's the right move?
The right move is controlled, deliberate movement directly toward authority. You proceed immediately and visibly to the nearest police station. If you don't know where that is or it's too far, you head for a well-lit, very public, and this is key, a staffed location.
Why the emphasis on staffed? Why not just, say, a busy mall parking lot?
Because A staffed location like a hospital emergency room entrance, a 24-hour gas station, a police precinct. It gives you three things a parking lot doesn't.
Okay.
One, staff are instant third-party witnesses. Two, they can call for help immediately or hit a panic button. And three, the aggressors know that confronting you in front of people who can get help instantly, it just dramatically increases their own risk of getting caught.
So the destination itself is a deterrent.
Deterrence is built right into the destination. You're changing the entire dynamic. You're using the environment as a weapon against their plan.
Right. Okay, so rule 3. This one addresses the internal response. Trust your instincts.
Yes. If you get that sinking feeling in your stomach, if the pattern is multiple cars flashing their lights, an aggressive move that forces you to a stop, if it signals danger, you have to take it seriously.
Don't second guess it.
Don't. The sources really stress this. Your intuition in these moments is usually correct, even if on the surface it just looks like weird traffic.
Mm-hmm.
The goal of the rabbit's tail is to break your composure. Don't let them.
And rule 4 is all about managing your own reaction during the pursuit. Don't engage or provoke. I'm guessing this means total emotional control.
Absolute emotional control. Avoid eye contact at all costs.
No gestures.
No hand gestures, no honking. Don't try to block them or teach them a lesson. Any reaction from you just validates their aggression. It gives them the engagement they might be looking for. Your only job is to maintain a stable, calm path toward that safe, staffed destination.
Right. And that brings us to the last one, rule 5, which is maybe the most important because it's about what you do before any of this happens. Know your surroundings. Pre-planning.
It's everything. Crisis management starts before the crisis. You have to be familiar with your local area and not just in a general way.
I mean, specifically knowing.
Specifically knowing the location of the nearest police stations, the major well-lit highways, and those specific 24-hour staffed public places along the routes you normally drive.
So that if this happens, you instinctively avoid dark, unfamiliar, or, rural roads.
Because those places give the aggressor the advantage. Isolation, lack of witnesses. It's the exact opposite of the deterrence you're trying to create.
Light, visibility, and people. Those are your defenses.
Exactly. The plan needs to become automatic. Identify the threat, choose your known safe place, and then maintain calm control while you move toward it.
This has been a really incredible deep dive into the kind of the dichotomy of a crisis behind the wheel. The Destiny Wheel Tackle is all about that spatial immediate threat.
Yeah, handling it with surgical stillness, a mastery of physics.
While the Rabbit's Tail is all about high-level pattern recognition, managing human intent, and then strategically moving toward a known safe harbor.
It really is the difference between an instantaneous physical reaction and a methodical, strategic plan.
What's so fascinating to me is that both scenarios, in the end, they require this incredible internal discipline.
Mm-hmm.
One demands you stay still when every nerve in your body is screaming to swerve, and the other demands a controlled retreat when your instinct might be to fight back or just floor it.
The sources really suggest that true safety relies on your ability to instantly categorize the threat you're facing. Is this a random, unavoidable physical problem, or is this a coordinated attack on me?
And the correct response is defined entirely by that initial diagnosis.
Exactly.
So here's the final provocative thought we want to leave you with, based on all these tactical principles, especially from the Rabbit's Tail. If you were to drive your normal route home right now, and a coordinated tail began to form behind you, how many minutes would it take you to reach a location, for a fact, is well-lit, public, and permanently staffed?
Just knowing that map in your head ahead of time, that's the first step to mastering any high-stakes crisis you might face on the road.
A fantastic and honestly a vital distinction to make. Thank you for making these really complex situations so clear and actionable. We'll catch you next time for another deep dive.